What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It is like 11 in the morning and I am absolutely exhausted. I had a sleepover with Jesus and Steven last night, and I actually thought about vlogging a little bit, but we are gonna do this big thing in a couple weeks that I will film for you guys. But we ended up going to bed at like 2. Like, we were watching the Cars movie, and we had like 44 minutes left, and Lightning McQueen was like just about to go to the fucking race in California, but we were too tired, so we went to sleep, and we woke up at 5:45, and they kind of like instantly went home. And I didn't really get that good of a sleep. I don't know why. But like whenever I have a sleepover, I just can't fucking sleep. I don't know why. But I went to bed at like 5:45 and woke up at like 10:30. But I had a nightmare for the first time in a couple months. I mean, if you thought the last dream I talked about was weird, that was fucking weird. Tree branch just randomly fell out of that tree. But if you thought that last dream I had was weird, you have no idea, man. But so right off the bat, nightmares, my nightmares are probably different from your nightmares. In order for a dream to be a nightmare, in my opinion, it has to be something that could happen in real life. And I know the house doesn't have shutters. It does in the front. We haven't painted the back ones yet. But a nightmare is a nightmare to me if it happens in real life. Like, for example, if I have a dream about me getting kidnapped or like one of my friends getting kidnapped, that would be a nightmare, because that could happen in real life. I don't think that monsters and stuff like that are nightmares. Also, because I'm just such a big fan of horror, so like I don't think monsters and shit are scary. But yeah, let's talk about the dream now. So it didn't start out as a nightmare. It was actually really weird, and it was like jumping all over the place. It started off, I don't know why, but I was dreaming about SML, and like the SML members were moving to New York City or something. I have no idea why I was dreaming about them moving to New York City. But yeah, then it switched, and me and my friends were at like Walmart or some really giant store, but I really think it was Walmart, and I'll tell you why later. And we were shopping, and we were in like the frozen section, and we were looking at DiGiorno pizzas, and for some reason I was the only person in the group that had a DiGiorno pizza. And for everybody else, it was their first time having one, and it was like this life-changing revelation for them, and they thought it was like the best shit ever. They were saying that it was like the best food they've ever consumed. And then it switched again, and here's where it starts to get a little interesting. So we were sitting on the couch in my game room, and if you're like a long time viewer or a regular viewer, you know exactly what my game room looks like. We were sitting on the couch, and there was 4 of us. It was 2 of my friends, and then one of my exes was there, and that's really weird. But so it was one of my friends, then me, then another one of my friends, and then my ex. And I'm not gonna lie, I wanted to make some moves. I wanted to make some moves on her. I don't know why, but I did. And I was just trying to like subtly ask my friend if we could like switch spots. And every time he'd do it, he would like be such a dickhead to me, and like I would whisper to him trying to ask him, and he would just start yelling And then I actually remember I took my phone out and I texted him in all caps telling him to move over, and he was just not budging. So I actually got so mad that I left the house, and we weren't even at my house. We were at my friend down the street's house, and I was so mad I just started pacing and I walked down the street. And when I came back, my ex was gone, and it switched again, and we were in a field right next to the house, and there was like this playground, and it was pitch black, and I was with a group of people, and there was at least one or two people that I actually know in real life, but I'm not like friends with, and then everybody else was just like a random ass generic person that my brain created. And I was with like this group of people, like picture a stereotypical group of high school boys that play sports and have no personality. Yeah, that's the group I was hanging out with. I have no idea why. I did not hang out with that type of person at all in high school. I wasn't that type of person in high school. I feel like that's pretty obvious, but I was hanging out with them, and they were kind of weirding me out because, you know, they had no personality and such. But this is where the dream starts taking a turn. One of them is like, yo, there's a bear. There's a bear. So I got up and I was like, yo, are you serious? So I turned my phone flashlight on and I walked up to like this fence, and right over the fence there was a black bear cub. And I was thinking in my head, like, if there's just a random ass bear cub here, you know for sure mama bear is probably not too far behind. So I hopped over the fence and I started yelling at everybody. I was like, yo guys, we gotta get out of here. We gotta get the hell out of here. And then all of a sudden they just started running. Everybody just started running for their lives. And then my grandma was there, and she had her cane, and she ran past me running for her life. So that's when I knew that shit was starting to get real. So I started running too, and I was the last person to start running, but I was running faster than everybody. I was like in front of everybody, and we were literally running down that street behind my house. Like, I knew exactly where I was and stuff, and I like cut through somebody's yard to get to my backyard, but everybody followed me. So I was like, oh shit. So now the bear is gonna follow us. So in a last ditch effort, I just dove down into like somebody's bushes right in front of their house. And so I was laying like right here, and then I had a perfect view of everybody like run right past me and like take a turn. And then there was somebody that was running behind them, and they like tripped, and I saw the freaking bear pounce on them, and I was just hiding there, and I could just hear that motherfucker getting like mauled to death behind me. And then I saw the bear walking away, and I was like, yo, if I make one sound, I'm cooked. And then I woke up. So this, I know it's not really that scary, but like it was the first time I've ever had a real world dream like that in a while. So technically it is a nightmare, but it might sound really weird to you guys that I had a dream about all that, but I'm actually gonna explain why I had that dream, and it's starting to get really freaking windy. But I had a dream about SML because Jesus was bugging me all night about it, and like we were trying to watch a movie, and he was like, no, just put SML on, just put SML on. And then we were at Walmart because we went to Walmart to go Mother's Day shopping, but the line was atrociously long, so we left, and then we went to ShopRite. And the reason why we were in the frozen section at Walmart is because we were Mother's Day shopping, and we wanted to get some food too. And I was like, let's stay out of the frozen section, because every time we hang out, we go to the frozen section and get taquitos. And I was like, let's get something other than frozen taquitos. So that's why that happened. I had a dream about the friend's house because my mom asked me about that friend. She texted me asking me, like, hey, why didn't you ask him to hang out? And I was like, well, because me, Jesus, and Steven are the iconic trio. Then I had a dream about my ex because we were actually by her house, because we were like hanging out in one of the parts of town that are by her house. And I was just like telling a story about how like me and my other friend used to hang out there all the time, like back before all this drama happened. And then I had a dream about like the random group of people, because me and Jesus were actually talking about how like we used to be friends with a lot of people before they got like popular, and then after they got popular they were just like shells of their former selves. And then I had a dream about the bear because I told them that bird feeders attract bears. Yeah, I know, it's weird, but yeah, I'm tired.